Namaskar and welcome to this edition of Organiser This Week, your lens into the top stories shaping Bharat and the world. I am Sonam Singh and this week's edition is as explosive as it is revealing. From the total collapse of the Hindu terror narrative to Bharat's thunderous message to Pakistan through Operation Sindoor, this week's Organiser Weekly doesn't just inform, it shakes the conscience. So grab a cup of chai, sit back and let's get into the headlines that matter. "17 years. That's how long it took to expose one of the darkest conspiracies in post-independence Bharat, the narrative of so-called saffron terror. On July 31st, the NIA Special Court delivered a verdict that shook the foundations of politically motivated secularism. All accused in the 2008 Malegaon blast, including Sadhvi Pragya Singh Thakur and Lieutenant Colonel Prasad Purohit, were acquitted of all charges. Why is this important? Because it wasn't just a case about a tragic blast. It was a calculated attempt to frame Hindu saints, army officers and national voices in a bid to manufacture moral equivalence with jihadi terrorism. The court not only found the accused innocent, but it also highlighted planted evidence, coerced confessions and political motives. Lieutenant Colonel Purohit was kidnapped by ATS, tortured for days and pressured to name senior Sangh leaders and Yogi Adityanath. That's not an investigation, that's vendetta. Let's trace how this drama unfolded. On September 29 in the year 2008, a bomb explodes in Malegaon. Within weeks, the term Hindu terror makes headlines. ATS arrest Sadhvi Pragya and Colonel Purohit. Evidence? Well, a motorcycle with a half-erased chassis number. In 2011, the case was transferred to NIA. In 2016, the NIA drops charges under Makoka and exposes ATS torture. And in 2025, all accused acquitted, conspiracy exposed. The NIA even noted that over 40 witnesses turned hostile and 30 more died before trial. No credible forensic trail, no ownership of bike, no RDS linkage to Purohit. The verdict isn't just about the accused, it's about a broken criminal justice system, one manipulated by Congress leaders for vote bank politics. A system where RSS was blamed for 2611, where books titled RSS Ki Sajish were released, where truth was buried under appeasement. Now to another dominant theme, Bharat's military and diplomatic thunderclap, Operation Sindoor. In a bold and fiery address in Parliament, PM Modi laid bare what the world needs to hear, that Bharat's patience has limits. Following the Pahalgam terror attack, Bharat launched a devastating response deep into the Pakistan-occupied territories. This wasn't a symbolic strike, this was a decimation. Precision airstrikes, 100+ terrorists neutralized, camps flattened, and guess what? Not a single major global power condemned Bharat. Why? Because we acted with clarity and strength. And unlike 2008, when Congress responded to 2611 by giving visas and FMS status to Pakistan, this government shut the gates diplomatically, militarily and morally. But while Bharat fights real terror, it also faces an information war. US President Donald Trump imposed a 25% tariff on Bharat and falsely accused us of military and energy alignment with Russia. Meanwhile, Canada moves to recognize Palestine, yet says nothing about terror camps in POJK. The global narrative? Skewed, hypocritical, conveniently blind to Pakistan's sins. And the solution? What the organizer calls an offensive information doctrine, where Bharat must control the narrative, call out hypocrisy and build strategic storytellers to represent our truth internationally. Because Swami Vivekananda once said, "Wait, have patience, everything will come right in time." Amidst all the geopolitical noise, Bharat continues its march of excellence. ISRO and NASA launched the NASA satellite and Indo-US Earth Observation Mission. The sacred relics of Bhagwan Buddha, taken from Piparwa during British rule, were returned from Hong Kong after 127 years. Vande Bharat now runs across every Indian state, a symbol of speed, self-reliance and pride. These are not isolated achievements, they are milestones of a civilizational awakening. And before we wrap up, let's take a closer look at some of the other important stories featured in this week's Organiser. Stories that have not dominated headlines but are deeply significant in shaping Bharat's cultural and civilizational future. In a thought-provoking address, RSS Sarsanghchalak Dr. Mohan Bhagwat emphasized that education in Bharat must not be a colonial leftover, but one that is rooted in Bharatiya values, aligned with dharma and designed to prepare individual for both material life and spiritual purposes. This is a bold reassertion of the Sangh's long-standing view that our syllabi must teach more than rote learning. They must build character, pride and understanding of Bharat's civilizational duties. It's not just about employment, it is also about enlightenment. In an exclusive feature, Organiser reports on new scientific developments that are reigniting the debate on the existing of the Saraswati River, once dismissed as mythology. Professor A.R. Chaudhary, a noted geoscientist, says the British tried to bury Saraswati, but science has unearthed the truth. Satellite mapping, paleohydrological studies, and archaeological excavations are confirming that the mighty Saraswati, described in the Rig Veda, was not a figment of imagination, but a real river that shaped Bharat's early civilization. This is not just history, this is civilizational reclamation. In a detailed analysis, Organiser revisits some maritime achievement of the Chola dynasty, arguing that their role in establishing naval supremacy across the Indian Ocean has been systematically downplayed. A fresh look at Southeastern Asian temple inscription and Indian maritime routes suggest a vast trading and cultural network stretching from Tamil Nadu to Java, Bali and even Japan. The Cholas weren't just kings, they were civilizational ambassadors of Dharma. It's time their story sails back into our textbooks and our imagination. In a haunting photo essay titled Shifting the Lens, senior journalist Nishant Kumar Raza documents a targeted violence in Murshidabad district, a region where Hindus are under daily siege. The photos taken on the ground tells the story the mainstream media refuses to acknowledge, one of systematic intimidation, religious persecution and political neglect. It's not just a report, it's a cry for justice, a reminder that freedom of expression also means the freedom to reveal uncomfortable truths. This edition also pays homage to the recently departed Pramila Tai Medhe, a revered figure in the Sangha Parivar and an inspiration for countless Sevikas. A lifelong worker of the Rashtriya Sevika Samiti, Tai was known for her spiritual clarity, sharp intellect and organizational leadership across the nation. In remembering Tai, we remember a generation of quiet revolutionaries, women who stood not in the limelight but in the trenches of nation building. So what do we take from this week? That lies built over decades can collapse in a single courtroom. That no matter the noise, dharma will prevail, and that Bharat, militarily, culturally and spiritually, is asserting its rightful place. Keep reading Organiser, keep questioning narratives, keep standing for Bharat. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching.